Why are there so many Christmas carols? And which one did the best job? Maybe George Scott, or maybe it's him. I guess we'll never really know. I think I know, and I'll tell you a theory, the best one that I do believe. This is the one, the best Christmas Carol, with Michael Caine, Iggy, and me.
That's gonna get copyrighted for sure. Well, hey there everybody, and Merry Christmas! So this time of year, I like to cover a little holiday movie or TV special, and this year I'm going to cover A Christmas Carol. Now wait a minute! You covered A Christmas Carol last year. It was the 1938 MGM one, and you said it was tradition in your house to watch it every year. Why are you doing this again? Well, there are other Christmas Carol adaptations, and I think I found the perfect one. George C. Scott? Nope. Patrick Stewart? Nah. Oh, Jim Carrey? Nope, I'm talking about the one with the Muppets. Why did they get rid of the dislike button? The story of Scrooge being visited by his former business partner, then three spirits to change his greedy ways, has been done quite a bit. Stage, TV, film, you get it. Last year I covered how my family and I watched the 1938 MGM version every year, and I talk about how weird it is with its short runtime, missing lots of key elements, and terrible line delivery.
Old Fezziwig was very kind to me.
Yes, he was. But he's dead now.
Every time. So as much as I watch that every year, I wouldn't consider it the perfect adaptation, but what would be considered the perfect adaptation? Most would say it's ones that follow the book the closest, which the three that seem to are 1951 Scrooge with Alastair Sim, the 1984 version with George C. Scott, and the 2009 version with Jim Carrey. All of these retain many elements from the story that are often omitted, the biggest example being the two children hiding under the Ghost of Christmas Present's robe, want and ignorance. I guess many adaptations remove that part because it was frightening, jarring, and for a story that has been marketed to families for roughly its entire legacy, that wouldn't go well with the kiddos. Maybe not, but fire and brimstone to hell, family fun! But my opinion on the perfect adaptation isn't following the book word for word. Mine is who captured the spirit and message of the story the best. To me, that would be the Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah. The Muppets. I'm a fan of the Muppets. I have some nostalgia with movies like Muppet Treasure Island, the original Muppet movie, and The Muppet Show. I, however, haven't been the biggest fan of them since Disney took over the franchise. I didn't care much for the Muppet movies they released, and the shows they've had for them have been, how do you say, trash. I do like Muppet Vision 3D though, and I did think Muppets Haunted Mansion was a delightful return to form for the franchise. So, I got that going for them.
Which is nice.
So I wouldn't say I have a Muppet bias per se one way or the other, so why do I think The Muppet Christmas Carol is the perfect adaptation? The movie goes through the same standard story. Scrooge is a miser that believes Christmas to be a humbug. He gets visited by his deceased partner, or in this version, partners, that he will be visited by three spirits warning him to change his ways or to be damned for all eternity. The ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come visit him, and Scrooge becomes a changed man at the end. God bless us everyone, sorry about the spoilers. So what specifically is so great about this one? Well, for starters, you have to look at Scrooge, played tremendously by Michael Caine. The role of Scrooge is already difficult to play, let alone surrounded by a bunch of talking puppets, but Caine manages it gloriously. He always stays in the Scrooge character, even when the Muppets do silly things to break up the dreary setting.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly
unemployed? That line is delivered with such force. How could one not be laughing during all this? So a great Scrooge drives A Christmas Carol, but so do the other characters, which mostly consist of Muppets. Besides Scrooge's nephew Fred and a few others, the entire cast of characters is comprised of Muppets. Kermit as Bob Cratchit, Miss Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit, Fozzie as Fezziwig, and the whole rest of the crew there in some capacity. They also have Gonzo as Charles Dickens, the writer of the story, with Rizzo by his side, giving narration and having to follow Scrooge through everything. Unconventionally, mind you. Everyone does their role well, especially Gonzo and Rizzo, but my favorite line is still Sam Eagle as Scrooge's headmaster going on an American speech, but then needing to be told this is a British story. What I also love is they didn't use already known Muppets as the three spirits that visit Scrooge. Yeah, they use Statler and Waldorf as the Marley Brothers, a minor change that doesn't differ the story, but the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come are all done as original Muppet characters. Ghost of Christmas Past is a CGI childlike spirit, a great representation of innocence and youth. Ghost of Christmas Present is a joyous, life-size Muppet, kind of like Sweetums, modeled to that of other variations of the character. And the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come? Look at this thing. Just a giant draped being. It's actually one of the most terrifying depictions I've ever seen. I also can't bring up this movie without talking about one of my favorite things. Original songs. Yeah, just like basically all Muppet movies, this has original songs. All written by Paul Williams, the same man that wrote Rainbow Connection, Muppet Christmas Carol has magnificent songs that not only set the mood, but are even quite catchy. The opening, Scrooge, is a fantastic build-up with everyone explaining how grouchy, greedy, and mean Scrooge is, his sheer presence frightening the surrounding people, with the audience not seeing him until he finally turns around for a big reveal. One More Sleep Till Christmas gives such a warm feeling. Kermit closing the shop with the rats, discussing the joys the next day will bring. It gears me up for the holidays more than any Christmas song on the radio does. Marley and Marley is literally Marley's warning to Scrooge in song form. Scared me as a child with the whole stop. It feels like Christmas is easily my favorite song. It embodies all the emotions of Christmas morning. The feeling of love you get when the day comes, a warm fire, a gift from another, and the overall season of caring. Bless Us All, the Tiny Tim song I call it, is absolutely adorable with its message of togetherness, being thankful, forgiveness, and again, love, a common theme here. Then there's Thankful Heart, Scrooge's redemption song, one of the few Michael Caine actually sings in the movie. You can't help but smile while seeing this changed man with his new lease on life. Now there's a certain song I didn't bring up, but I will get to that in just a moment. Okay, so they got a great Scrooge, the use of Muppets as the other characters is wonderful, and some catchy songs. So do they do anything unique with the story? Well, you can't change too much of the story because then it wouldn't be a Christmas Carol, but you can change a few things here and there, having the Marleys be brothers as an example, and even omitting the want and ignorance scene doesn't ruin the ending. Every moral of a Christmas Carol adaptation is the same, a story of redemption, not being greedy, and having a giving spirit, especially during the holidays. And that's where the Muppet Christmas Carol exceeds. It adds a new message to the movie without taking away from the main one, all with two songs. When Love Is Gone, and When Love Is Found. I omitted talking about these two during my song segment for this specific reason. They are easily the most important songs that wrap up the story in the perfect bow. When Love Is Gone is the song where Belle, Scrooge's love, explains that his love of money has overtaken his love for anything else, including her. Look at the emotion in her eyes, like she thought about her decision to leave for so long and she can't look at Scrooge. It's too painful. She's gutted making the choice. The current Scrooge joins her singing, in tears, knowing the wonderful thing that he had and how his love of money took that away. So Christmas is just always this constant reminder of this terrible moment. Jump to the end of the film when Scrooge is gathered at the Cratchits. They all join to sing When Love Is Found, turning such a sad memory for Scrooge into a positive with his new life moving forward. It continues the message of not just being more generous and kind, but to have love in your life. The entire film continuously brings up love. Not just romantic love, the love of your family, the love for the people around you, the care you bring to a simple stranger, all because it's that season. When Love Is Gone and When Love Is Found is the glue that binds that message of love they push through the entire movie. It is the most powerful connecting songs in the film. Oh, by the way, it was cut! Those bastards! In the original release of this film, the song wasn't there. They just had Belle break up with Scrooge, no song, and then they sang When Love Is Found at the end, which, sure, it's a lovely song, but the power and reason behind it makes no sense without the other. I thankfully grew up watching the VHS of this movie, which put the song in there, so I got to see that first. Modern DVDs, Blu-rays, and even Disney Plus use the original theatrical version with no song, but have it as a bonus feature. That's not good enough to me, though. The message of love during the holidays being pushed to Scrooge works best with that song in there. The Muppet Christmas Carol is the perfect adaptation of Dickens' novel, due to the original morals it represents, plus the ones they've added themselves. Yet without When Love Is Gone, I'll call it almost perfect. This can be a great way to introduce someone new to the story of Scrooge and A Christmas Carol, but it's also great for someone that wants something different with a beautiful extra layer in there. There may be puppets involved, but let me tell you, this adaptation is as real as it gets. Thank you guys so much for watching, and tell me, do you like A Muppet Christmas Carol? What's your favorite Christmas Carol adaptation? Let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, or enemies, I guess, and subscribe to my channel for more nostalgia lookbacks, movie essays, and anything else I can come up with. I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. Thanks, everybody!